Hey dolls, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Tarr, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to ensure that your makeup doesn't transfer or wear off during the day when we're having to wear masks. So as everyone's more than aware, it has now become the norm to wear masks when we're outside of our households. So face masks have almost become part of our wardrobe at this point, or at least it should be, because everyone should be wearing a mask. And myself, and I'm sure like many others, have found that some makeup products are not mask friendly, and we're having to reapply our lipstick, reapply our blush, our highlighter, our foundation, sliding off. Half of it's on the mask, and sometimes the humidity plays a huge part in that. We literally sweat it off, and then we're left with half of our makeup off our face and on our mask. Well, my dolls, after you watch this video, that is all about to change. The makeup products I will be featuring in this video and the techniques in which I will be using them will help you keep your makeup intact throughout the day and will ensure that your makeup stays on your face and off your masks. But before we get into the magic I'm about to instill on you all, don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe to my channel. Ring that bell button so you are always notified on all my uploads. And don't forget to follow me on all social medias at dollfacetarrbeauty. Okay, let's begin. Okay guys, let's start off by moisturizing the face. I'm going to be using the Fenty Skin Hydra Visor Invisible Cream, which has SPF of 30 in it. It's really important when we're out and about that we have our SPF on to protect our skin. And if you're someone that avoids SPF because it gives you that annoying white cast, this moisturizer does not do that. Once it is completely rubbed in and sunken into the skin, it leaves an invisible cast, so you have no purple or grey tones that show through, which is perfect. Okay, so when it comes to primer, it's really important that we choose a primer that has a really good grip on it, which will then help the foundation grip onto your skin and last throughout the whole day. And a really good primer that does that is the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. Not only does it hydrate your skin, it has a really good grip on it, so the texture is quite tacky and sticky, which is what we want. We want the primer to be sticky, which will give us a good base for our foundation to stick onto. I can already feel my skin getting more tackier. This is what we want. So when we're having to wear a mask with makeup on, a lot of the time the makeup which is applied around the cheek area is the first to rub off, because obviously where the mask sits on your face, when you're moving around and talking, it causes your mask to rub around your face, and whilst it's rubbing on your face, it's actually taking off your makeup. So in my normal daily makeup routine, I like to apply highlighter on my cheeks, but I've noticed when I wear a mask, that's one of the first things to rub off, which is so annoying. So it's really important to apply double layers on your cheek area when you're wearing a mask. So instead of just wearing a powder highlight, I actually like to use a liquid highlighter too, and this is the BECCA Cosmetic Liquified highlighter in the shade Ignite, and I use this as almost like a base for my powder highlight. That way, if my powder highlighter does come off, at least I'll have a base of a liquid highlighter underneath my makeup. So I squeeze out one pump because this is very pigmented. I start highlighting the high points of my face. So this will ensure that my highlighter stays on the whole day. Okay, now that our first base of highlight has been applied, let's jump right into foundation. Okay, so for foundation, this is the most important step. I cannot stress this enough. You need a foundation that's going to last you all day, that has staying power, that is heat resistant, because obviously when you wear a mask, sometimes it can get so hot and sweaty, and when you sweat, your makeup will then come off your face and then go into your mask, and then you're going to end up with no makeup here. You need a foundation that once you've applied it, it is not going to move throughout the whole day until you wash it off. It's really important as well that you do not choose a dewy, glowy foundation. I know this is coming from me, someone who literally lives and breathes for the glow. But when you're wearing a mask, it's just not practical, because when you're wearing a more dewy and glowy foundation, that foundation carries a lot of moisture in it, so it slips and slides. Whereas if you use more of a matte foundation, it's going to stay in place for longer. And one of my favorite foundations that I always wear where I have to wear a mask, that is the Estée Lauder Double Wear Foundation. This has staying power like no other foundation I've ever wore before. I've worn this to concerts, I've worn this to weddings, I've worn this for long ass events that literally last from the morning to the wee hours of the night. This does not budge. This foundation has so many great qualities to it. For one, this has the staying power of up to 24-hour wear. This is like cement. Once you apply it, it completely dries down and it does not come off. And it also has SPF 10 in it. And this foundation is full full coverage. Like, I don't even think I own a foundation that is as full coverage as this. I mean, this covers everything, like even my birthmark as well. The way it just literally makes it disappear. I've been using this foundation for years, and I've worn this foundation many times with a mask and no transfer. Like, a lot of foundations do claim to be non-transferable. A lot of foundations claim to be non-transferable, but a lot of them still are. But this one definitely isn't. This one stays put and does not transfer. If you want your foundation to stay on all day and not to transfer on your mask, you need this foundation. Okay, once you've applied your foundation that is not going to budge, you now need to go in with a concealer that basically does the same thing. You need a concealer that is not going to transfer. You need a concealer that's not going to lift from your face once you've taken your mask off. So you need to apply a long-lasting, non-budging concealer, which is not going to transfer. And one concealer I found that definitely does the job is the Toothpaste Born This Way multi-use sculpting concealer. And this concealer has up to 12-hour wear, which is exactly what we want when we're having to wear masks, whether it's really humid and when we're sweating through our mask. We don't want our concealer to move. So this one is definitely a really good concealer to use. Okay, just like the liquid highlighter I used as a base, I think when you're wearing a mask, it's really important that you cream contour and powder contour. If you use a cream contour underneath your powder bronzer, you've got extra coverage, you've got extra insurance that even if your powder bronzer does lift, at least you'll still have the cream contour underneath and you're not left with nothing. But again, you have to find cream bronzers and powder bronzers that are long lasting. So instead of having to use two different compacts, Tarr has come out with his brand new cream contour and powder bronzer duos. So just like his blush duos, it comes with a cream product and a powder product. So this one here is your cream contour and underneath that is your powder bronzer. And I use this in the shade Oh She's Sculpted, which is the medium shade. So this shade is slightly more on the cooler side because it's meant for contour and sculpting. So I'm going to start pressing that on where I would normally contour. As you can see, it's given us a nice contour sculpted moment. Okay, now that we've got all our cream products on the face, now it's really important that we set that with powder. And to do that, of course, I'm going to be using my favourite powder ever made, which is the Laura Mercier translucent powder in the shade Honey. Anytime I use this powder, not only does it give me an airbrush and flawless finish, it does not move throughout the day. It stays put. Like, I cannot express to you guys how important setting powder is to your makeup routine, to ensuring that your makeup does not transfer. Like, I don't even get people who don't even set their makeup. That's one thing I don't think I will ever understand, is people who apply cream products, liquid products, and then don't set them. When you use a setting powder, it does what it says. It sets your makeup so it doesn't budge throughout the day. The powder is the barrier that will keep your makeup intact. Setting powder is like one of the most important steps. And I like to put extra powder on my chin and around my mouth area. And that is to ensure that once I have my mask on, the powder then becomes the barrier between my makeup and the mask, so it does not transfer and stays put. And now I'm going to go over that cream contour with the powder bronzer. And this will lock in that cream contour. It gives it an extra layer to ensure that it's not going to transfer or slide around when I'm wearing my mask. And I'm also setting my cream nose contour with my powder bronzer, because again, when I wear my mask around my nose, one of the first things to lift from my makeup is definitely my nose makeup. So once I do this, ensure that the makeup doesn't transfer, because as you can see, once I put my mask on, you basically can't even see my nose. So we want to make sure this right here doesn't move. Okay guys, I'm going to quickly jump off camera and just do my eyes, because the eye makeup is really not important when it comes to this makeup video, because your face mask won't come in contact with your eyes, so it's not really relevant how you do your eye makeup. So I'm just going to quickly go off camera and I'll be right back. Okay, eyes are done. Right, blush. Blush, 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 blush. I have like a love and hate relationship with blush, because I feel like blush is one of the first things to always wear off when I put on makeup, like the first thing to wear off. So having to wear a mask where obviously your blush will be touching the mask, you need to find a blush that has long lasting staying power, so that way you don't have to keep reapplying during the day. So in my last few videos, I've been featuring these babies right here. These are the Tarr cream and powder blush duos. I've got all 4 of these babies. These blushes stay on all day. They're full of pigment, full of color. So just like the highlighter trick and the contour and bronze trick I used before, I'm going to do the same thing with the blush. So first I'm going to go in with the powder side, as Tarr instructs us to do. Here's a little technique that actually works. So when you go in with the powder first, it lays down the foundation, and then after, when you apply the cream, it gives it extra pigment and extra coverage. Absolutely love this blush. Oh, this is in the shade Do We Know Her. This is my favorite shade. Okay, now I'm going to go into the cream side and just take a little bit of that and start dotting it around my cheeks. So like I said, blush is always the first thing to wear off. So it's important that we have an extra layer by the time you apply your blush, and by the end of the day, after wearing a mask all day, your blush will still be intact. Okay, when it comes to highlighters, one baby I noticed that doesn't budge and actually stays on my skin is the BECCA Cosmetics highlighter in the shade Champagne Pop. So just before I applied my foundation, I applied the BECCA liquid highlighter as a base for my highlight. So now I can go in with my powder highlight and begin to highlight. So I highlight in all the places where I laid down my liquid highlighter. Okay, so when it comes to lips, I think it's pretty safe to say that lip glosses are out of the question. There's no way you can wear lip glosses underneath wearing a mask, because obviously lip glosses don't dry down on your lips, therefore the very tacky texture they have will then stick onto your mask, and then obviously it will come off, and then you're left with nothing on your lips. And I think it's also safe to say lipsticks that have a very creamy texture that don't dry down obviously are a big no-no. So the lip combo that I've come up with, which never lets me down and actually stays in place and definitely doesn't transfer as much as those other options do. The lip combo I use is the Rimmel Lip Liner in the shade Cappuccino. I don't ever reapply it because it actually does stay on. I love using the Huda Beauty liquid lipsticks because not only are they very hydrating on the lips, it definitely does stay put the majority of the day. And I use this in the shade Trendsetter. And I normally do a double layer, so as soon as this dries down, I'm going to go in with one more coat just to extend the long wear. Okay, so for the last and final step, when it comes to setting spray, you have to use a setting spray that not only is going to set your whole face and actually locks in your makeup so it doesn't wear off during the day and doesn't transfer. So I'm going to be using an OG that has never let me down over the years, and that is the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray. This baby right here has the staying power to up to 16 hours, and it also has a temperature control technology in the formula, meaning that even if it's humid and you're sweating, this ensures your makeup does not melt off your face. It stays exactly how you first applied it. If you do not own this setting spray and you wear makeup underneath your mask, you need to get this setting spray. Okay guys, now that I've done my makeup and I have set it, let's go in with our mask for a quick test and see how effective it is. I'm going to move around, I'm going to talk of it, and touch my face, I'm going to rub it around because obviously when I'm talking my mask will be moving. So let's see. It works! So guys, as you can see, the proof was in the pudding. I have proven that all the makeup products I have used and the techniques in which I use them will ensure you a transfer proof, sweat proof throughout the hard days of wearing a mask. If you have enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe to my channel. Follow me on all social medias, that is at Dollface Darrell Beauty. Oh, and don't forget to hit that bell button so you are always notified on all my uploads. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.